Hello, everybody. It's Max with Crypto Talk now. The writing on the wall that I always talk about when it comes to ISO 222. What exactly do I really mean by that? Well, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, for instance, we see things like this, getting ready for November of this year. Why is that? Why do we want to get so excited and get ready for November? Well, for one, November 2022 marks the start of migration of ISO 222. For cross-border payments and reporting, along with that, with a coexistence period with MT messages until November 2025. Now, in a previous video, I pointed out things in which you saw certain countries coming on board for ISO 222 migration in November. And of course, as we also saw, the US is basically going to be the last to show up to the show. But they have stated a reference to all of this. So this comes straight from the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. And this was mentioned back on June 27th. It says the Federal Reserve Board announces final timeline and implementation details for adoption of new Fed Wire Fund Service message format, aka ISO. It highlights it right here, plain as day. The board confirmed that the new message format ISO 222 will be adopted on a single day as proposed last year rather than in 3 separate phases. The board also provided a new timeline for implementation based on review of public comments, with the new message format to be adopted on March 10th, 2025. Again, the US is on board, but they're showing up pretty much, late to the show. However, I think personally they'll actually maybe get to the point where they hear of all the success of all these other countries and then realize, you know what, we can't be waiting until 2025, especially with what's going on in this economy. How do we know that? Well, when you see things, again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the writing on the wall, it's just that. Look right here. Literally, the writing on the wall. With Quant, they are able to connect any network to any network at scale without overhead or limits. We outlined that in a previous video. Look how Quant is connected to everything, all right? So one thing to hear about a person making that statement in the comments of a video or on a live stream, but to actually see it. We briefly just touched or, hit the top of the iceberg, right? Barely just scratched the surface, I should say, right? It says right here, on the right, integrated into Europe's leading payment provider network, SIA, connecting central banks, 508 of them, by the way. Working with central banks, goes and enterprises, Comcast, Rockefeller, you name it, right? And on top of that, it says, and only 270 million fully diluted market cap. That was back on January 10th, 2021, right? Check it out now. Look at Quant right now. Look at the fully diluted market cap right now in the bear market. Absolutely mind-boggling, to say the least. Look at how their Overledger operating system connects everything. Payment APIs, the likes of PayPal. I use PayPal all the time. Google Pay. You probably use it all the time if you use Android. Apple Pay, if you're a big iPhone person. I mean, you name it. We talked about the blockchains before. We talked about some of these other things. We talked a little bit about banking systems. Look at that. Look at the banking APIs. Literally everything. IoT APIs. Cisco, are you kidding me? Again, Quant is going to be absolutely huge. Why would I want to take my hard-earned money and put it into a puppy dog Inu project that will, who knows, might not even be around here, right? Take your money and put it into good, solid project. This is not personal financial advice to you, but what I will state is this. I do try to put you guys in the personal place I'm in because I recognize what is going to happen here on the near horizon when it comes to all this ISO 222. I'm very excited about, to say the least. If anything, do more of your own research. See if it's for you. So with that said, everybody, thanks for watching today's video on Quant, as well as ISO 222 in general. And if anything, guys, I want to thank you again for helping out when it comes to the live show. I notice a lot of people have been connecting to it and watching out daily. We really appreciate that. 2 shows daily, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and also 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Thanks again for watching. May you all have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next one.